Now we are audio. I have just muted us. I'm just checking that we're actually going live, that it started. Yes, it has. So good. Good. Great. Now can I please check with someone that's in there in the comments that you can hear us both clearly without echo? And I shall turn off the music too.
That's quite nice in the background.
Well. I'm trying to refine it and not take up too much of the, like the bandwidth of what our broadcast is. Hey, Adair. Hi, how are you? And we've got KB already. We do have people streaming, like coming in the comments. Hi, Jody. Whoops, hang on. I can take down the other things. Really forgot that, the crawler. Terry Lee Britton has allowed us to use his music for the lead-ins for anything that I choose that I'd like to use it for. So that's what I'm doing. And actually not playing around with, but practicing how that setup is best done here on the live stream. So hopefully I'll get it to where it's not so many steps and I'll have everything prepared. And yes, Adair has said, yes, we're live and it started. And hello to Cherie. And now I'm not going to go through all of these right now. We'll just go to, that's it. The music is lovely.
It is. It's amazing. His music is amazing.
Oh, the talent that he has, and watching how he was doing some of his videos on YouTube. I will put a link in one of my posts somewhere, whether it's here in my time or whether it's on my Ros Boundy page or whatever. He's got YouTube channel as well. And the way he does that, I think he's still got some of it on his channel as far as how he's got, because he's actually surrounded by keyboards when he does this creativity.
He's going to be very talented to do that.
Oh, yes, a musician.
Like technology.
Yeah. So now that we've started, how are you, Leanne?
Oh, besides this head cold, so if you see me mute myself, I'm coughing, but I have been trying to talk myself into the last 2 days with all these sick people around me that I am not sick. I am not getting sick. So I think I just need to surrender and let it to move through.
Yeah. We had, it was a little family gathering on Sunday that was a lunch at the Crown it was the last of, I think it was the 4th of lunches, meals out for the birthday. Because it was a €6 birthday, as we know from last week. And that's the last mention of it too, by the way. You can only take so much. But it was just before reminding the kids, as in, because I've got 4, but one of them wasn't there. He couldn't be there. He was in Western Australia working. But I had the photos and all that, and we did take a few photos and stuff. But just before we actually gathered, one of them did mention, I'm bringing a couple of sickies, but we'll sit up the other end because we've got colds and the rest, which doesn't matter. I mean, these days, the best way of getting over it is catch one. And then the next time it's not as severe. Instead of doing all this vaccination type stuff, why not just catch the thing? Your body builds up its natural antibodies and you're done and dusted almost. So I don't know whether I'm going to get one or not, but I know I was around one or two who had it.
I know I've been around them for about 4 weeks, and I was going, I'm being good.
Oh, wow.
I've been lucky, but then all of a sudden it's really hit over like the end of the weekend. But I thought the voice was going due to talking, like teaching the workshop all weekend.
That's right. Yes, you had a workshop.
Yeah, it was an amazing group. Oh, it did. I just love I guess it warms my heart to watch people discover their abilities and watch them strengthen it and grow. So it was amazing. I was a bit sad that it was over near the end, but
Yeah.
I look forward to watching them continue to grow. So
yeah, which it really is something that's that excitement in discovery. Oh, is this really how that's done? Or, oh, wow, like, I mean, when you do start getting some really good, clear messages coming in at times too. I remember the first couple of times where I thought, it just feels like my imagination. And then they really started to come in, and as in you knew it was the truth you were getting, and sort of started to wonder, really is it my imagination? No, it really is. And you get the evidence that it actually is what was the truth that you put on the rest. You said, wow, like it really is that wonderment and excitement at actually just the discovering that, I can do this. I can actually trust it. I'm not just hearing things. People aren't just talking to me in my head or some of the stuff that you see. It's just, it is. It's an amazing journey to be on.
Yeah, so it is. And even just to see some of those emotional blocks that we can move through discovering that is incredible. So
yeah,
I love it.
Yes. Yes. And as I'm just mindful because of now, just as an explanation, some of the, like when you're doing production, and I am going to be just mentioning a little bit of the behind the scenes of what we do, what we see as, presenters, as live streamers and using the BeLive.tv. Oh, the other thing I'm going to do, I hope you don't mind, but this is what came up for me through the week. You would have had it too, wouldn't you? This celebrate button.
Oh, hang on. I haven't seen that one yet.
Haven't you? Oh, no. You need to look for it because it actually gives a link to give people a 30-day freebie. I don't know if it's called an affiliate link or whatever. Anyway, there's a link that will show up in this post at some point. Probably straight away. Don't know. Because I've done over 225 shows and I've got this and it comes up with that and there's a link. Everybody, there's a link somewhere. If you are interested in doing live streaming that's a little more on the professional side, that really has ease of use, that has versatility in what you can do behind the scenes as well. And there was a new one I saw on the BeLivers, our page, that closed group, that's about remote control, almost like a remote control. We can have a co-producer using their mobile phone shortly to be able to help us do the production so that someone else, like for instance, if you were on there solo and you still had some slide, your live selling or various photos and guests coming in and out, and you wanted to concentrate on your conversation with your guest and you still wanted some of those the asset, the things that we've got below brought up, I could be in the background, totally not on the show, but remote controlling it, putting them up and down and muting and all that.
You and I could be doing. So if there's people out there that aren't confident, that want to do the tech side of it, but want to have their shows, Ros and I can be available to help you with that then.
Yeah. Yeah, wow. It's a new thingy. I've just been watching and I thought Stephen had it up and I thought, oh, wow, this has really good potential. Because for those who really aren't confident, and Adair would attest to this, being able to help somebody on the side and be there, the sidekick, not on the show, but being able to do it is a real bonus because then you as the presenter can then actually concentrate on what you want to say, what you want to show people, what you want to do, as far as, especially with a guest like we're doing. I mean, you're my guest, sometimes I'm your guest, all of that. But when we host, I'm looking at the side, and that's what brought my mind to it. I'm looking at the side there, which looks like I'm looking away from you or even those that we're talking to, because I've got to actually deal with these things and go, show up what's going to show down the bottom. Like that, and which we've already shown Jodie's, I just noticed, and here's some more. I mean, I'm not going to go right through the whole lot right now. And we've got Lois and we've got KB saying we can both be heard clearly, which is wonderful.
Beautiful.
this morning I had a bit of an echo. And that was just a matter of a simple thing. If something goes wrong on BeLive, you don't have to stop a show start again. You can actually just hit that refresh button up there, and it will actually, it doesn't take us away out of the broadcast immediately, completely. It allows us still to at least see if that fixes the problem, come back in. I didn't have the echo, and she'll be right. I could keep going on with the reading, which that's perfect. The one I do every morning. So it's exciting what we can do.
It is. I love playing with technology like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Ones I can get my head around.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And like this one, as far as when I discovered, was it a couple of weeks ago, that all I had to do was actually just stop the video, and that winds in that third one. As far as bringing in, you imagine that's a guest, but that happens to be this, hello, the other camera that I've got ready set for the cards, so that if I didn't want that showing, I'd just slip it out and it goes back down easily, whereas I was taking it completely out and bringing it completely in. Fun, isn't it? Like as in the difference that it can make when you play around with and use the programs that you're going to need. You know that you're going to go with something, you learn it really well and you go with it. And that's what I've been doing with this, the BeLive. And now that I'm back at my iMac, I'll be doing that too with the eCam, because that one moves it into Twitch very easily too. So, the two, just know where you want to go, what you want to use, what you're going to move ahead with as far as the tools. Yeah.
I think that's learning the tools. It's like everything in life is tools.
Yeah. And that's why another thing, the intuitive side, it's just led into, because what we call this show is, and I suppose I should introduce it, it's actually for those that haven't, how many minutes are we into it now? And I still haven't done the intro properly.
Just a couple.
Yeah, we are on the 10th of September. It is the Tuesday morning here. Tuesday's Intuitive Chat with Leanne Winston and Ros Boundy, even though the title just says Leanne and Ros. So I know that the label I put to the video is there as that, but not everybody reads the stuff that you put with a video, do they?
That's right. They don't.
So that's to clarify that part of it. Now, to move on to you can mute yourself, can you, when you're actually there?
I did with my mic. Did you still hear that?
Yeah. That's why I'm wondering, can you mute yourself from that end? Just a quick clarification.
Actually, let me just try this.
Yeah, try it again and then talk. Yeah, can. Yeah, that's muted. Good.
Now it's got to unmute.
Yeah. So at least we know that when you need to, if we don't hear you and you move sideways or whichever way you were looking, that's why. Because I can't predict that. We may be psychic, but I cannot tell when you're going to cough.
I was doing it on my Yeti, and I was muting there, but obviously you can still hear it, but it's through my headphones. So I just thought that when you said that. So I would do it on the screen instead.
Yeah, good. Good. It's the things that we discover as we're moving along, so that's fine.
Yeah.
And the next thing I was going to say, that was part of the intro. What was the next thing that I might have been going to say? Are you good at the SP thing?
If you're on any other page, but on My Time TV,
that's exactly the one I was going to move to. Exactly. So if you are on any of those cross-posted pages, what cross-posting does is actually show as if that particular page is the one that's streaming the live. What you need to do is to make sure that you have clicked on the link that goes to mytimetv.live, because that is the page. Yes, that's the page that you need to be on to put the comments in the stream there so that I can see them to bring them up on screen here like that, which I've already done, Lois's again. Was there anything else we needed to actually... What's the rest of the homework?
More direct.
That's it. Yes, questions do need to be more direct and as succinct as possible. I did notice there was one as I was flashing through before because there's a lot of comments there, and I sort of did.
There is.
I'm back to the lovely little magic mouse, and that really goes fast. And because it's the opposite, I've got to try and think which way do I do the scroll on this one. There was someone that I noticed was asking about, can you tell me what's going to happen in the next 3 months for me, please? Now, that is just too general and it takes too long. That is a paid reading in my view. So if you want that type of reading, please do book with either of us or someone else. It doesn't matter, but asking the questions that for this type of format need to be short, sharp and shiny because, and this was where my segue, Adair, that's how you pronounce it. I don't know how to spell it, but I know it's segue, not segu. And this is my segue into why I have these two cards here. And I'm going to place them. How does that show it up? Yeah, that way. Okay. Now, what can you guess that this is the reason why I'm doing this one?
I can't even see the cards because I'm behind my the pendulum. Love it.
I'm holding it up. Look, it's oops, I've just got to put it on the right side. Oh, now I can't. Because one of my birthday presents and you can't quite see it, is a lovely rose gold pendant that can be used as a pendulum. And not rose gold, rose quartz. It's beautiful, and it just fits nicely on the neck, but the catch is a bit fiddly, so I didn't want to bother with that. So I've got my pendulum. I'll just do that one as a solo. I've got to remember how to do the solo. And so that, if you can see that, it's an amethyst, and it's just... Look, for those who really aren't so much into the details and names and all the rest of a crystal, it's a rock on the end of a chain, and that's what you can use for a pendulum. It does not have to be crystals or anything special. You can actually have a piece of potato hanging off a string if you want to. It's something that is the weight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the old days. The women used to use a piece of hair and a wedding ring to tell what sex the baby was.
Yeah. So that is why I chose to put these two cards out. And do you recognise the deck, Leanne?
Lisa Williams.
And the simple tool of this one would be, and I'm trying to place it as close as I can underneath the cards, underneath the camera, so that what it does, if you're asking a question, is it cold outside, and it should actually start to swing. Well, the opinion of the intention of this one is that it's no, and I'm trying to stay really steady. Hang on.
Sometimes it's good when we do pendulums to actually put your elbow on the desk.
Which I have just done, and that means my sleeve is actually interfering with that a bit, and it's starting to swing around. Okay. And one of the things first, I will just clear that with a Reiki symbol, because I'd forgot to do that. And so one of the first things is you just get the pendulum to actually, you ask it to show you a yes and a no first. So I'm just going to see, for me, that is the circle. Doing it in a circle is the yes. The no is usually up, backwards and forwards like that. And I even have it programmed to being a maybe. I do ask sometimes, show me a maybe. And that for my energy is the swinging sideways, okay? Mm-hmm. Now, that's how I do it for my own use. Now, with this, because I'm using cards, you're actually getting it to point yes to the yes, and you're actually getting it to point, whoops, I've got a wobble up there too, pointing to the no. You actually get the intention for it to point to the no. So that is actually, you just see it going over more to the no, to the right, to that no card, right? So that is one tool that anybody can actually use. It doesn't, you just have to make sure that when you're holding your, whoops, I'll do that down now. When you're, I've got to try and find the camera again. When you're holding it, that it is actually as still as possible, and your intention is at the start, before you start using it, that it is neutral, and that is neutral. So it's not moving anyway, because I haven't asked it anything. I'm not intending to use it at the moment. So, and that's something that you would do in some of your classes with more detail, isn't it?
Yeah, we actually play with pendulums on the weekend. And if you buy a pendulum, it was good. If you buy a pendulum for the first time, hold it with your hand under it and let it calibrate to your energy. You will find it will do like a little wobble up. It gets that sort of bit of a shake to it. When it stops still, that means it's calibrated to your energy, and it doesn't hurt to do that every now and then as well, and then ask you to show you the yes and no, because we all get our information different in the way that it swings. So Ros just explained to you what is yes and no, and maybe for her. For me, usually my pendulum goes yes is back and forth, and sideways is no. So, and if I get maybe, it goes around in circles. So that's, everybody will get
through different things. That's what the potluck part is with doing this show, is because sometimes my energy is more grounded than other times, which every single one of us is like that. So this morning, mine is a little bit feeling scattered in the sense that if you look at my morning reading, you'll realise there was too many choices. There was the mask there as the choices that, mixed choices, and the rest, that's what it's feeling like. So the same thing with what you're doing, with what you have, so many choices in what you're doing through your work and what you've got happening coming up and all the rest of it. And so many different choices of how we do these readings and things. So it is, I better do this one in case Lois is actually wanting to go to bed. I saw that there and thought, oops, I'll scroll past and do that. Yeah. That's one of those things, timelines. We're not always completely mindful of other people on the other side of the world being those different time zones. It's so, yeah. And when you start really thinking of time and how irrelevant it is, because we're not actually the day in front, even though we are, by what we use as our gauge of time. You get what I mean? So, yeah. So I thought, well, we'd do one for, I'll just move those yes-no ones out of the way in case someone does want something that way. I'm still going to use the Lenormand deck unless somebody really wants to have a different one. Is there something that you'd like to share with Lois from what you're seeing, feeling?
She's kind of asked for more of a general one, so something drew me to pulling the cards for her. Now, the first card that I drew out in my set, and I'm using, I have picked up the Universal Prophecy cards by Julia Mackenzie. So the first card I pulled out was the Golden Prophecy card. Now, that is a card that you usually draw a second card with, and it enlightens that card. So the second card is the Freedom card. So, honey, I get the reference to, at the moment, you need to look forward. You need to work towards that freedom. It is there. The hard stuff is behind you, but you need to put you first. You need to stand out. And that, like I said, that is very enlightened. The freedom is very enlightened by the Prophecy card. All right. So that is a very positive card to come out.
Thank you.
Give her.
And as I was flipping through some more too, I sort of thought, well, we don't need to have the both of us do a reading for everyone, for the ones, both of us doing it. So I thought, I'm flipping through, and this one caught my eye, And as I'm shuffling, the male did come out, which I better share the card. This male, the older man card came out, and I thought, well, that's probably for this one, because I saw it flip through. I'd like to know if I'll meet someone to have a romantic relationship with, please. Not had one for 10 years by choice, worked on myself, and now would love life back into my life. And I think too, the second card is to do with communication, that is going to be through something that you see that is actually communication coming through with, there's the harvest. So after all that you've done for yourself in what you've worked through, it is that work that's coming to fruition with the man of, it's a male energy of whether that relationship's male, female, what your choice is. You'll feel that attraction to the right person. I feel it's actually going to be initiated through some writing there. So that's what I've had shared there. Whoops, bring your video back up. I like that video, like dropping the video out, because then I can still hear what you're saying. Like, you can still be heard. Yeah. Doesn't mute you if you want to cough, though.
No, I've got to remember when I mute myself, it takes a little bit for the mute thing to come up on the screen, and the same for unmuting. So it's like I feel it to start muting now. By the time it comes in, I'm right.
Yeah. And and just a reminder, I just saw this one too. I'm actually doing the scroll pass instead of starting at the top and working down. I'm being naughty today to what my normal system is.
I love it. So all the master numbers, beautiful.
Yeah. Double numbers gives more power to what the meaning of the numerology is as well. If it's a 5, it's a double 5 meaning as well as the master number. Now, just to differentiate, can you define the difference between what is a master number and what is just a double number?
Well, your master numbers, like the 10 isn't 10, 12, 13, 14. So it's got to be the double numbers. So it's not just the 2, it's the 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, 66, and so on. It goes with that side of it. So they are very much more of a spiritual number. They are very strong in that side of it. And it's usually connected with the spirituality side of things as well, with my understanding of it. Okay, so master numbers.
Yeah, because I thought the difference, and I would have to actually look it up. It's almost like the double 1, double 2, double 3. It feels like it's meant to be the, you know how you have, what's the name? Prime numbers, a number that can't be brought down to anything further. Yeah. You know how with numerology, if it's for instance, my birthday, 3/9/1959, you add it all together and it breaks down, and then you add those digits, bring them down to that single digit. For the numerological factor.
Definitely.
So there you go. So there could be a difference in that, yes.
Yeah.
I just thought it was like the prime numbers. So it's only the 11, the 22, the 33, but anything else is like it adds to the strength of it. So what's the difference in an angel number compared to that then? Is it the same?
Angel numbers all have different. So when you see 1111, usually that means spirits with you. The 444 can be the angels showing themselves around you. 555 will mean something different. So there's an app that you can actually get on your phone, Doreen Virtue. It is a paid app, but I think it's only about $8. And you put in those numbers, and it comes up and it tells you what those numbers mean when you see them in the patterns like that. But certainly, like Ros says, if you break your birth date numbers down to, and we take it usually down to a single number, unless it is like the 1111, the 22, the master numbers, we don't break that down any further. They stay at what they are. So my birth path number is a 11. So that's where it will stay.
I've got to remember. I know that 3, 6, and 9 feature that's the most frequent number in any of my numerology, and I think my birth number is a 9, which is that's the cycle. So it's also interesting, isn't it?
It is.
I just thought I'd put this one up and put the cards up again because it's a perfect instance of using the pendulum as well as what's your thoughts on this one? I'm just going to, oh God, now I wobble
yes with that.
Wobble it. Oh, I'm going to have to do that because I've messed around with the thing. And if you can see that, it is pulling towards the left. So for me, that would confirm it too, as well as the fact that I did get the yes as well. So just a quick little tester on that one. I just, sometimes the temptation's a bit much. Just got to try stuff. I've never done a pendulum on a live thing before.
No,
probably for that reason I keep bumping the camera.
Yeah. They're a great tool to play with, especially if you question yourself a lot. So, yeah. Cool.
There are other techniques that you can use as well. And that, with the muscle testing that is connected to kinesiology and that style of therapy, there's quite a few different ways that you can use to tune into yourself and have those answers received with definitely the, where for sure instead of having that level of doubt.
Yeah.
Would you like to respond to Jodie there with she's wondering what the outcome for the 6th of November will be?
Okay. I actually, reading that comment, honey, I was getting there's a bit of anxiety around that. So I do feel that there is a lot of pressure around that. To me, it's the outcome will be a positive outcome. So, but it's going to take a little bit of work to get to that is the reference that I get. So I want to say, look at the hurdles between now and then. And come the 6th of November, my feeling is it's going to be a positive outcome. All right. So wishing you all the very best. I feel like you're a bit in your head about it at the moment. So see, it's impossible. It's important, not impossible. I still can't talk English after the weekend. To focus on the positive. See that clearer outcome that you want and put that out to the universe instead of bringing in the mixed messages around that. Okay. So wishing you all the best.
Yeah, the card that I pulled, as you were saying, that with the roundabouts or whatever, you used the whatever word it was. I'd have to go back and watch it myself. Roller coaster, maze, that type of thing. So it does feel to me like that, ultimately the prize is there and it will be eventually achieved. It depends a bit on what you wish for. Now, why didn't that come up? Oh, I didn't hit that button properly. So that's that one. And I got from Dee's straight away, look, I just feel you've mentioned the bridging loan's not viable. Will the refinance loan be approved? Personally, I've actually got the no with that one, that it's not going to be approved. What are you getting for that one? Yeah.
I think I'm with Ros at the moment, but I get the reference there is ways around this. So I'm going to say do your research, find the right person to help you. All right. I know the banks are fairly hard these days in getting loans across the line. All right.
Yeah, and I'm just flicked. I felt I needed to do that. There's a snake in the grass with that currently as it is. So the workaround. Look at a different pathway for that one. Yeah. So, yeah. So what other things have you been doing lately?
What have I been doing?
I just noticed this comment from Adair. So I say Segu as it's written to make sure I spell it correctly. Should have used it. I'm pretty sure it's actually pronounced Segway. But I'll have to look that up, me being Gemini. Sorry about that.
We all have our own ways of pronouncing things.
Oh, look, so long as we're understood, that's the most important part of it.
I always say I've got my own language.
Yeah. I mean, even as you said, you're sometimes having a bit of trouble with your English because you've been talking a lot over the weekend. So, but the tripping over words, it's partly tiredness. It's partly because there's so much happening in the mind that you want to get out. Oh, here's me holding my cards. Getting it out in a hurry because there's so much to share. There's excitement. There's new things to invest. Oh, that's what's happening for me.
Yes, that's it. And it is because of my fibromyalgia, I get what I call foggy brain. So when that's in heighten, I can't always think clearly. It's a struggle sometimes. So you do that. Then if I've been working and doing this energy level, for a period of time, it gets really exhausting as well. And then on top of that, my mind's going a million miles an hour and my mouth always has trouble keeping up. So the head knows what it wants to say, but that doesn't always come out of my mouth the right way. And a classic example is, I've got to share this story with you. I did it again on the weekend. I said to my students, let's have a break. I encourage my students when we're teaching workshops, because we're sitting in that energy for a long period of time, to get up. I'm going to say it right this time, and stretch their legs, go outside, get some fresh air. So stepping out of the energy. Ros, can you guess what I said to them? Not step, stand. I said...
No, I can't guess it. I must be a bit thick. Too much else happening there.
That's all right.
What's in the background?
Mind you, I did this to a show of about 80 people in Mount Gambier a 3 or 4 years ago. We went to go for, the story, don't you, Ros? Go for a break, and I went to say, get up and stretch your legs, and, we'll have a 15-minute break. I said, spread your legs. And I did the same thing on the weekend, and I went, let's have a break, and I meant to say stretch your legs. I went, spread your legs, and I just went, I've done it again. That's twice. This time it was Spirit's fault. This time was my tiredness. But it just rolled off the tongue. They pissed themselves laughing. I'm like, at least I'm entertaining, I guess.
But there again, that is part of breaking that connection to the energy. You put in that laughter is the best medicine for everything. It does break what can be where your concentration is, and that sort of, it is like that string, isn't it? Like you're sort of chopping at it to get that energy moved out the way, type of thing. That wasn't the best comparison, but you know what I mean.
Right, that's it. But the first time I did it, it was literally the spirit that I had just been channeling was a real ladies' man, and hey, sort of thing, and very, very cheeky. And his two relatives in the crowd on both, different sides of the room acknowledged, oh my God, that is so his energy. And it's
my gosh.
And my mouth my jaw hit the ground. I'm like, I can't believe what I just said. But they cracked themselves laughing, and that story coming back every now and then on the weekend.
Yeah,
happened to be one of those weekends.
Look, it's like you said, it's the spontaneity of whatever happens in that present moment at that point in time. It's perfect timing for everything.
That's it.
So it sounded like it definitely was again.
I just love the way they do it to me, though.
Yeah. That's cool. Now, whilst you were doing that, I did I caught Janelle's, and I have already done the cards for that one. And
if you like to do the cards, I'm going to cough.
yeah, you do that. So Janelle, you'd love insight on your calling, please. Now, it's not a very specific question again, but this time I did feel guided that this was for you. So as far as the compass and the magnifying glass, you really need to be looking more closely at what you want out of your life's path is what I'm getting, because there's certainly, with the stork, that actually does mean that there is change ahead, that it's more the rearranging of what you're doing completely. It's re-nesting almost. So I'm getting the feeling that you're actually going to be moving in some ways. Now, can you shed a little bit more light on that one?
I had a smile when you said re-nesting, because I wanted to put children around her.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there's change. There's certainly change.
Definitely.
And what you're calling is looking at whether definitely the compass it's changing the direction and change. It could be home rearranging or moving house itself, but the depth of what you're wanting to look at. So that's what I got there.
And to me, that change has been coming in for the last couple of months. I want to say, look at what's been put in front of you the last couple of months. Okay. So, but I want to put children around you as well. So whether it's working with children or having your own children.
Yeah. And hi, Annette. Hi, Annette. Jump around and talk to you. Yes, they're really big for you, aren't they? Different vibrations we are. And so are each and every one of the crystals that we do use. I do choose to use crystals for the pendulum. So lovely to see you in there. Yeah. And I'm just scrolling through. I'm not sure if have we done Jody?
I think
Mum's having an operation today. Will she be okay?
I get yes, she will be, honey.
Yes. Yeah.
Sending Mum healing.
Now we've already done that one. Now, 4 beautiful daughters. Cherie, we've got 4 beautiful daughters. Good age range there. At the start of this year, wanting to see me having another baby. I'm actually feeling a yes with that one too.
I get yes, honey. And I wouldn't be surprised if pregnant before the end of the year.
Yeah, I'm almost feeling it is already. But, yeah, so, yeah. Congratulations. I think it... What's that one? Oh, Nita. See double numbers all the time. Yes. Yep, we can just do you want to do a card each for that one? For Nita's?
Yeah.
So I'll leave that one up there, and then I don't think I might be able to try putting that one up as a solo with you. I'll drop my photo out, my film camera out. That's right there. Yep. Yeah. So now how are we going to put those ones together? That is the well from the Lenormand deck, and you have the past.
The past.
Wow.
So to me, I think they go well together.
Yeah.
The well.
The well.
I get the reference to it is about, letting go of the past, moving out of that energy. But you also need to focus on what it is that you are wanting in your life. So look at the wishes that you're putting out there. All right. So let go of the past and you'll move forward quite quickly. And it was.
Yes. And with the well, it's also, my eye is going to that handle, because what it means sometimes is I'll put me up and drop. Cool. The handle actually does mean there is a bit of work to it, but what it's doing too is actually bringing what was from the past. It's actually, you have to actually lower that bucket in to get out of the well what you need, and it's bringing, so the lower, I'm feeling that it's going back into that past and bringing that forward so that it can be seen, and then I'm feeling a pouring out, as in leave it in the past. It is the past, and working now from what is the present. Would you agree there?
Yes,
for that one?
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, whoops. And because I haven't got your video back up first. It's got it.
It's okay.
Really. Oh, look, it's part of that new thing that's come at the new part of what is BeLive that comes out with the remote assistant, is that someone else could be doing that while we're still on the screen as well. I gather that is the possibility of being able to do it that way, so that someone else would be doing that, stopping our camera, working it. Yeah, it'll be fun to play with, put it that way. So that for those who are interested in doing their own and having an assistant, it would be very easy to work it out once I've had a play with it, because it's only just been released. So looking very interesting. And I'm sure Adair and Theone are excited with it too. So,
yeah, I love what the changes they've made the last 6 months over, this BeLive stuff, the program. It's been amazing.
Yeah, I think too, and I haven't got anything set up, but there is that live shopping. Like I'll just do the quick look at the one that I've had a play with, and it is it's called the live shopping, and it's setting up what effectively probably is that screen, not screen, what do you call it? Slideshow type thing. It's like slideshows. And you can set up more than one photo, and you put the price on it and you put the description there. I haven't. It's actually bad example because it's supposed to actually have the buy me a coffee, I think, on it. I've got the label buy me a coffee where the $10 is. So I've done that wrong. Duh. So I'll drop that out now, and I shall do the other one. It's got 3 books that I was just playing around with. This is part of the possibilities that you can actually use, so that you're putting into the show a live selling opportunity. And I don't know if there's links to actually be able to put the options to be able to put the buy it button within this, so that anyone in the chat stream can actually click on it straight away. That I haven't played with yet, but it changes. It's like what?
I don't think there is as yet. That's where I was directing people to my website.
Yeah, and that's where I would have that under each of these. Look, here's the website. I've got these products on my website. I don't with these, but I am going to put books on, and they are books that I've had from a previous Book Nook shop that I used to have. So, there's so many things that they're using and doing, improving for us as live streamers, as being able to share this type of thing out to people, isn't it? Definitely. Loving it. So you can tell I'm excited.
Yeah, definitely. So for sure.
Now, I just found, have we had Fiona's? I'm not sure if we've had that answered.
We did one for her with the numbers, but not a question.
Right. Daughter has appointment next week at Cancer Clinic to see if they can help her been on natural. Oh, her be. That looks like typos for long times.
Yeah, so her blood. B blood.
Yeah, her blood. Not sure what we're in for. A bit scared. I think that is more, rather than trying to do any answer here around medical things. Scared, if you're drawn to me, would be grateful, please. Look, I think it's going to be, keep breathing.
I'm holding my breath.
Yeah, I was doing that, and I knew I needed to just let it go. Relax into the positive thinking. Don't let the doubts come in at all. I'm feeling it's going to be okay. Focus on the positive. Don't let the doubt come in, otherwise it won't be, because you'll get what you want. Yeah. It's that old, where your focus is, the energy will flow.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And I'm with Ros as well, honey, because my feeling is you're thinking the worst. Okay, you're far off sort of thing, so it's not going to be anything as bad as where your mind is going. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sending you both lots of love and healing, though.
Yes, certainly, because it's still something. It is still something that makes a difference. Is having the network around you, the support around you, and others. Yeah, love. It really is one of the best healers. And a similar thing too for you, Terry, as far as any warnings. I'm not getting any warnings around your health or anything like that. So focus on what is the positive in your life, and not bring those doubts around health. Be as young as you feel you want to be. Because I've had that experience personally over the last week. People say, oh, you're 60, you don't look it. Well, I mean, because I don't feel it, it's not something that comes into my mind, is age. And even bumping into things a lot, I found I've got a few bruises, because I don't think of the, oh, I'm so fat I can't move around places. I have got a big body. That is a reality, but it's not something that I concentrate on. It's not something I think of. It's even when I'm moving around, I forget that I've got that size, when in this mind, it's just I'm a person moving around. It's got nothing to do with the size of who I am. It's got nothing to do with the shape of the body, even the height, until you go to try and reach things. That's a bit different, but it's focus on being who you are, and being happy, making your happiness yourself from where you are with what you've got and who you are. So
the mind is a very powerful tool.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? A card. Have we done a card for KB?
No, we haven't.
Cool. Let's do one for KB. I'll do one of those quickly. So if you want to have a look, see who you're guided to point out what timeline and the rest for someone else that you want to do.
Yep.
Oh, one card. Two cards. Oh, feeling three. Oh, right. And I'll just put you down while I bring the card up, and I can do it that way. Oh, wrong way. I can do it that way. This is just so it. Oh, and I've got the comment. Whoops. And I'll put the comment down, because here's your card, KB. Cards. I felt you needed to have it. Just wanted the three, because it just feels like the geometry of what there is for you. It is that, and that's a funny thing with the feeling that this is a young lady. I really don't know what your age is. I can't tell from your avatar. It is that feeling of self-love, loving you where you are right now, and being as it. Whether that's why I mentioned age and feeling as young as you want to just prior to, or whatever, it's feeling like be at peace with who you are. Stop beating yourself. You know, that the whip really is one of those, you know, and that birch thing. Back in ancient times, that was a self-flagellation type thing where you'd be, it just comes across to me that there's too much self-criticism that you're putting on yourself, that you really need to be actually loving that inner you. That's what I'm feeling, the peace. Be at peace with yourself. Find that within yourself. And that is all part of what is the past. It's like, turn that over. It's done. It's complete. Be loving towards yourself. Find that perfect you, because even in who you are right now is the perfect you. And that's how I've sensed it with these cards. Is there anything else that you want to add to that?
Yeah, when you look at two of those cards, Ros, if you turn back over that bottom one, there is 2 11s there when you look at the numerology.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
The
11 and 11.
The lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got some pretty strong messages there, honey.
Yes. And the 2 9 to 11. Whoops. The 29 to the 11. And even the 1, it's the start of something new for you as well. As far as that outlook for yourself. Yeah.
Excellent.
Interesting, isn't it? Yeah.
It is, for sure. So, yeah. I was drawn to the message from Christine Mason at 11:17.
Oh, that's the one I just
lit up. Oh my God.
I thought, whoops, not now. Well, there you go.
She's obviously put it up twice, I think. But, okay. So, I know it's just the different format it comes up in. I have
could be.
had a daughter with head injuries last year. Can you tell me, is she okay, as we're going to the doctors due to many headaches? Yes. I'm actually being drawn to the base of the spine and the head. The top of the spine and the base of the skull. So I get the feeling there has been a lot of, I would say, whiplash type feeling. Obviously, it's not the whiplash itself, but I get the reference to that jarring to the head as well, that has put a lot of pressure on that migraine muscle at the back. So I sort of feel like a lot of it is coming more from there. I want to say look mainly at muscular. All right. So I do feel there is a lot of tight muscles through the head and the neck. All right. So wishing you all the best with that.
And what I'll just drop my, no, I'll just go singular with that. Do it as a solo. The 2 cards. It was only the 2 that wanted to show themselves, and I will show that as the Jack. That's that 11, the 11 on the same card too, because Jack. Well, I think it's considered an 11, isn't it?
I muted myself.
Yeah. You did too. Do you know when you do that, it does show the microphone with the thingy in it? I just realised that. So you have the choice of muting you can undo your video, or that's only mine?
I think I can, yeah. I'll put the video button there as well. So
yeah. Oh, cool.
And it's funny because you're asking me a question and I've got it muted, and I'm going, I've got myself muted.
Oh dear. There you go. Yeah. So what I was actually getting, rather than just the numerology, it was actually, I thought, you're asking, is she okay? What I was sort of thinking was, I was seeing the brain diversions. You know how you have the electrical, you can't see me there. Here's me demonstrating. I'm talking with my hands. Hang on, I'll just bring it up because I talk with my hands. I'm going to. Does it come up? No, because I've got that on solo. This really is the learning stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll leave it there. We know our brains have that really intricate, the channels and everything that are the brain cells, the neural pathways and everything. And when I was looking at it, flipped up that there's a whip, but it's also, all of those different things, the branches. And it's the branches that my eye went to. And I thought, look, what we perceive as not all right can actually be sometimes absolutely perfect, because the brain itself, the body itself will potentially, I'm just feeling there probably is something that's needing to be looked at a little bit closer, but it's not, there's nothing wrong with it, because what's going to happen is the brain itself will do its own diversion, will do its own cut off those blood cells that may have been injured by headaches, to actually find its own new pathway, and it's still going to bring the clarity of what is her thought process, of what is how she thinks, and the different neural pathways that are going to be used, because that's what the brain does. It's something that happens when people work through strokes and recovery from strokes. It takes a bit of time for that type of thing to actually recover its equilibrium, to then find the new pathways. And sometimes that part can be the bit that is going to create the headaches. It's just moving its channels, moving its branches, and it will be okay. Certainly a good thing to have it followed up with the doctors.
Definitely.
So
yeah.
anything, also, if in doubt, do that.
There's also, Ros, you might have more of an idea of this than me. Excuse me. There's a trigger point. I think it's on the outside of the big toe for headaches as well. So it might be worth actually holding.
I would have known. It can. That depends. I don't know as much about the meridians as I don't remember as much about the meridians as I probably could do. I've done a lot of study around various different things, and for me, over my lifetime, it's what I need to use right now is what I remember. The rest is stored back, somewhere. Yeah. There certainly is in the palms with the reflexology that you can actually, and I think it's somewhere to do with in there, but look it up. Yeah, and I think that's what it is. It's to do with pinching there somewhere, more specifically the palm there. Yeah. But as far as the actual location goes, I'd have to look it up in my books, because I've got it in the books. I don't use it often. I don't suffer from headaches. So it certainly would be online somewhere as a reflexology point for headaches. And how did you do it? You were pinching the two sides?
I've been pinching both sides with my nail. Yeah. I've got nails. But it's in there somewhere, but I know there's one on the outside. Now, I'm not sure which toe it is, but it's the bigger toe. And I'm pretty sure it's on the outside of the toe that you hold. That also can help.
Well, it would be, because the foot reflexology is the same as the hand, but hand and feet, they do match. If you hold your feet up like that, that is the tips of your fingers is more to do with the top of the head, and this is looking at your toes though, where the toes meet the sole of the foot, and that's similar there, would be to do more around the neck and the top of your spinal and shoulders. So you sort of imagine your feet like that, and it would be the reflexology for that. Is that really the time? Oh,
it
gosh.
is. Can I just say,
we didn't do many readings.
No, but it is what it is. We've just got a new person that's joining in today to say that she is new here. So now, honey, if I pronounce your name wrong, Ros, it is at 11:16. Arafat. Sorry, honey, if I said that wrong. Welcome. Thank you for joining in.
Yes, this one here. Arafat Ullah, Arafat Hassan.
Yeah.
I probably mashed it too.
I'm not big on names.
Hi to you.
Welcome, honey.
Look, and that's where sometimes with the cultural differences as well, there are cultures that actually read the names backwards. So if you said the first name that showed up with Japanese, I think that's actually their last name.
Yeah,
and that type of thing. So, I mean, we could totally be mashing it up, but that's fine. Welcome anyway. It's lovely to see new people showing up, and I don't always look at what that the chat stream very often, because there is a bit of busyness in doing this back end of the hosting side of it, as you know, Leanne, and anyone who's done it will understand. But it's not a show without you people as the audience, as you watching and putting your comments there for us to be able to actually share even just the minutest number that we've done today. But it's the engagement. It's what keeps us going in being able to share what we do. And we share what we do in the more professional way of offering our services as psychic mediums, readers. We have our booking systems that are there in our pages and websites. What have we actually put on our connections? That's the Facebook pages, isn't it? Not websites.
Yep. Yeah.
My website still isn't up to scratch yet. I've got to do some work on it, which I'm hoping to do this week. But there's avenues of getting in touch with us that you're quite open to doing that, please. And in the right timelines of daylight for us. And this is where the time zone thing can be interesting, especially when you're leaving messages and trying to connect. Sometimes it is in the middle of our night if you're on the other side of the world.
Exactly.
So just be mindful of how you're trying to connect to us. How is the best way for you, Leanne, that you prefer? Messenger or email or?
Probably Messenger's the better one, but you can certainly check out my website, which is leannewinstonpsychicmedium.com. So I've got a booking link on that page under services, so you can certainly check out my calendar and make a booking at your convenience. No.
Good. Yes, I do have my website that I've got some of my stuff up with. It is hypnosisplus.com.au. I've still got to try and remember that, but like on connecting through Messenger for me with the Facebook is probably the best and easiest. I think I've sorted out the bookings, the how to do it on the Facebook itself, but I'm not 100% sure. Look, give it a go. If it doesn't work, give me a hoy on Messenger. So it's lovely to be able to share our time with you, and thank you so much, Leanne, for coming on as my regular and only guest.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure.
I don't see it really as it's my show type thing. It's just us and we're chatting together and we're offering what we do. So thank you very much to the audience again. And we will reconnect again next Tuesday. Keeping in mind it is mytimetv.live that we are actually doing this through, is the connection that you need to come to. Still will cross-post. I actually did it right this week. I presume, didn't I?
You've done well. By the look of it, you did. You did really well.
So thank you for all those who watched by the various means that you came into our show today. Thank you. Share it around for those who you think it's beneficial for next week. I do my daily card spread using the Lenormand. 8 o'clock at our Australian Central Standard Time. You do various shows like live streams yourself. Do you want to mention those, and then we'll close the show?
I'm on Tuesday nights with the lovely Annette, but Annette won't be available tonight. So, Ros, if you're free, would you like to join me?
Well, probably am, actually.
Yeah, well, let me know.
We'll see.
I know she's got a meeting to go to tonight that's got some importance with what we've got coming up. So, and I'll be on also on Wednesday nights at 8:30. So, excellent.
So, thank you, everyone, and especially thank you, Leanne. And I'm looking at your face there. That's why the site goes down. Part of the little things that happen as you do a live stream, you sometimes forget where the vision is going and what it looks like when it's on the recorded version. So thank you, everyone. Until next week, at least, for this show, Tuesday's Intuitive Chat with Leanne and Ros. Bye.
Bye.